So a lot of you have been asking this. Like I know I do a lot of like showing like all my like fidgets and stuff, but you've asked, show me all your DIY fidgets. So I thought, why don't I do that? I actually don't have many. I only have like a couple, so this won't be a very long video. Super background noise, that's my new fish. Even though I know we have a cat, but we still have fish. Anyway, these are my DIY fidgets. I'll show you most of them now. So here are all my DIY fidgets. So yeah, I don't have that much, but I'll quickly go show you. So let's move it out of the way. So first, my DIY fidget is, this is a DIY squishy. Not very good. Okay, next. Next is another DIY squishy. It's once again not very squishy. Moving on. Another DIY squishy. I don't know why I made these, but I made these when I had squishies. Like squishies, I don't know why, but I just did. So yeah. Moving on. This DIY stress ball. Not very good at stressing ball because mine actually popped. Very sad. So yeah. DIY stress ball. Once again, not very good. Moving on. This DIY snapper. You have to like actually use your tents because it's really hard. Sorry for the background noise. That is some music and my new fish. Because, yeah, I know we have a cat, but we still have fish. So, yeah, a DIY snapper. It's not very good. Moving on. A DIY snake or tangle. I prefer as a tangle. So, yeah. Moving on. Another DIY tangle. I think that's all of mine, because this is the section I keep them in, and those are like fidgets that aren't really fidgets, but I use them as some. So I think that's actually all of them. But you know, I don't really want this video to be short, so I'm quickly gonna go make one. Turns out I can't really make DIY ones, so I just found this. It's like another snapper. But like, this one's more of a snapper sound. So yeah. That's the fish. That's like the fish's water. But yeah. This is a better DIY snapper, defo. But it's very hard to actually pop up. Ugh. Ah, there we go. So, yeah. So yeah, these are all my DIY fidgets. Now I'm going to rate my DIY fidgets. First, I'm going to rate this DIY squishy. I rate this out of 10. A 5, because it's not actually very good. Moving on, next is this one. Actually, no, I'm rating that as 6, actually. Moving on to this one. This one is really like hard to squish, even more. Like, even though there is actually something inside this, by the way. It's even harder to squish. You can bend it, but it's really hard. So I'm going to have to give this one like a... And also it's cracking. Definitely a 3. Moving on. Next is this one. Well, that was a 3, that was a 6. This one isn't as bad as a 3, but it's not as good as that one. You know that one's pretty bad. I'm going to give this one a 5. Moving on. This DIY snapper, which is not really a DIY snapper, but anyway. I always drop the camera now. So yeah, this DIY snapper is actually pretty good. So I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Yeah, definitely a snapper. Actually, no, probably an 8. 7.5. 7.5. 7.5 is the same thing. Moving on. Next is this other DIY snapper. This one is actually pretty hard to snap. Yep. So I'm probably going to have to give this one and also I'm probably going to have to give it a 3 as well as like that. Moving on to this DIY stress ball. It's not really DIY, it's just basically like a pom-pom, but it's not really. This one's really hard to squish. Really hard. I'm going to have to give it a 3 as well. Moving on. This DIY tangle, it's not actually that bad. I'm going to give it a 6. Moving on to this one. This DIY tangle. I'm going to give it probably a 8.5 out of 10. That's me rating all of these. Thanks for watching this video. Subscribe to my channel if you want more videos like this, and hit that like button if you like fidgets too. Peace out.